In this video, I'm going to be running you through what I believe to be the ideal body fat percentage for a man when it comes to everything, when it comes to looks, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your hormones, when it comes to everything that a guy would want. Now, the reason why I can speak about this is because I've been quite a few different body fat percentages. I've coached a lot of guys that have been at different body fat percentages. I've looked into the science of this a little bit. So I've started to understand really where most guys want to be, what people actually want, what people find attractive, and also what is going to benefit you hormonally for your health, your energy, everything. So now, as someone that sustains pretty low body fat all year round, I would say my honest opinion on where I believe the kind of sweet spot is going to be around 10 to 12% body fat, possibly a little bit higher, depending on obviously when you do store your body fat as a guy, as that is going to be genetics. However, I do think that the 10 to 12 is a very good spot for feeling good, as I believe that between 10 to 12% body fat, you can be great hormonally. Testosterone can still be in a really, really good spot. You can feel fantastic. Your ability to be able to control insulin is going to be in a really good spot as well, which is really important when it comes to your energy levels, when it comes to your ability to be able to sustain low body fat, keep the fat off. And also, it's just a body fat percentage where you look good. And I don't just mean look good for yourself. I mean, I think this is where a lot of women kind of find attractive in terms of being too shredded. I don't think is more attractive to most women. Obviously, being a little bit softer realistically probably isn't either. That 10 to 12% look, this is pretty much where you're gonna have a nice clear set of abs. You don't wanna be too shredded, just gonna see a nice six pack, nice developed muscles, veins in the biceps, bit of separation around the legs. This is a really good sweet spot when it comes to body fat. Now, I'd say I'd probably sustain kind of in both of these metrics I cover. Sometimes I'm around probably close to 10%. Sometimes I'm probably closer to around 12%. So it kind of depends on the time of year, obviously, potentially with what I'm doing. But I think that this is realistically where it is the best place to be. Now, the only kind of caveat to that potentially might be is that I guess if you are someone that's a little bit more social, maybe you don't have your top off that much and you're just not bothered about being like that lean all year round, you can absolutely live a fantastic life at around 14-15% body fat as well. That's still going to be considered as lean. It's just not probably the point as to where you're going to get that like real standout physique. Like you take your top off, you know, in front of other people, it might not have like that quite same wow factor, which not everyone is wanting that. And if you are someone that really loves a social life, you love having a few beers at the pub every single weekend, and you know, you are quite social with going out and stuff as well, that might be a more realistic position. But I do genuinely believe that any guy, and a lot of the guys, especially the guys that we coach that are over the age of 30, I think you can absolutely get to 10 to 12% and maintain very, very well at that end. Depends on obviously how disciplined your lifestyle is and what you realistically want to do. Now, I like to sustain body fat a little bit lower. Of course, it works for me in terms of setting an example to my clients, building my brand, building my content for sure. So not everyone needs to be on the lower end of the spectrum, but I do believe that is a really good sweet spot when it comes to things. Like I notice when I'm too lean, because I don't feel as good, I just get hungry, I'm quite irritable, my sleep goes off a little bit, I lose a sex drive, which is one thing I notice as well if I'm a little bit leaner. So I kind of start to understand where I want my body to be. And again, like this is something that I think is really important to understand as a guy as well. So let's look at the other end of the spectrums here. We've got the sweet spot, which I believe is around that 10 to 12% mark. I'm going to say maybe even 10 to 13%, because I think that, you know, even at 13%, you can look incredible. I think if we were to go lower than that and we were to go into the single digits, now this in my opinion is where things can start to go a little bit off. Okay, this is like the bodybuilder round, right? This is where hormones start to tank. So you get testosterone that's in a very nice place, around 10 to 12%. Let's say like an optimal range. Again, this is going to be person dependent sometimes, but you get into a really good range, right? If you start to then dip under 10% body fat and you go single digits, testosterone is going to start to tank, okay? When testosterone starts to tank, you start to feel like shit. Sex drive starts to go off, just not going to feel as good. Your training is going to suck. You're not going to be building any muscle, and it's just not a good place to be. Now, obviously you can stay there for a little bit. If it's for a short-term thing, you're going to do a photo shoot, you're doing a bodybuilding competition, or you just want to look jacked for a holiday, you can get to that position and obviously then kind of slowly reverse your way back out of it. But I still wouldn't really recommend it, to be honest. I just don't think you need to. You can do a shoot at 10 to 12%. It's look incredible, if not potentially better than what you would be if you were super shredded. So I should never think that the goal should never be for a guy to get under 10% body fat realistically, unless it's for a challenge, for competition, and you just really want to push yourself and see how far you can get to. Because I just think the trade-off of being leaner is just not worth it. Because this is, as I say, where you don't start to have the benefits of being in good shape anymore. Okay, you don't start to feel as good. You don't have as much energy. You're just going to get a bit more irritable as well. Like, you know, being around partners and stuff and your kids, you don't want to feel like you're kind of sometimes a little bit on edge or a little bit angry, and that is what happens when you are in that lean realm, and just isn't the place to be. Now, when it comes to actually what other people maybe would consider as looking good, Well, let's look at it from this perspective. And again, this is just obviously my own opinion. I don't speak for everyone here, but I can speak on my own opinion from what I believe to be attractive from people that I've spoken to, from other girls that I've spoken to, and potentially other guys as well. Is what we probably realize as guys now is that when you're super shredded, the only people that really care about that are other guys. Like, you're going to get more compliments from other guys telling you that you're shredded, telling you that you look good. You look great, bro. That's kind of who you only really impress when you go on a 10%. It's going to be honest with you guys, most girls don't really like that. Like, most girls find you more attractive, and again, speaking just from my own experience here, with a little bit more body fat. Like, I find it like 10 to 12% body fat. So I'll probably get more attention from girls than when I've done like a photo shoot and I've been like super shredded or something like that. Like, just like, unless the girl is like a bodybuilder themselves, like, I don't really find that that's potentially something that they really want. Haven't really been in that position for quite a long time. But the also caveat to that as well is that, like, when you are in that position, you don't really want any other like attention from the opposite sex or the same sex. You don't really want that, because your entire like libido is just not there. So it's like, what is the compromise worth? If you're under 10% body fat, you feel like shit, you don't get sexually attracted or aroused. Is it really worth it? Probably not. But again, being realistic, the only real people that are more impressed by being super lean, which is cool to get a compliment from, tends to be other guys at the gym that are quite impressed with you looking shredded. When it comes to being attractive to a female, in my opinion, they want to see you around 10 to 12% body fat. You've got a nice jawline, kind of chiseled, coming in here, which they can tell, obviously, you work out. You don't look super lean. You've got literally like loads of separation and striations and stuff in your upper body. You just got nice bicep veins. I think bicep veins are very attractive. I think it shows a low level of body fat. You can kind of see your arms starting to develop there. Chest, again, like, you don't need super lean striations, but just a nice, well built out pecs. Like, that looks great. And I just think with the abs, like, you want a nice clear six pack. I always maintain a nice clear six pack. I think if I start to, sometimes on the upper end of things, I can sometimes start to lose my bottom abs a little bit. I still probably wouldn't say it's that noticeable to other people, but I find that when I've got that nice kind of clear set of abs, it doesn't look super shredded. I'm not like literally like obliques and like veins in my abs. I don't think that's attractive at all, to be honest. But having a nice set of clear abs that you can kind of maintain, I think that's the sweet spot when it comes to say just getting attention and just generally looking as attractive as you possibly can, as a guy. And I also think that that's actually the place that you can realistically sustain as well. I sustain low body fat. I sustain probably on the lower end of low body fat, which most people would need to sustain. And I do it quite effortlessly. I wouldn't say I'm super strict. I don't drink much, but I do eat out most evenings. If I want the odd chocolate, if I want an ice cream, if I want to eat the crappy food, I will do that. I don't really have an issue with that. So that's the lower end. So I don't really think as a guy you should strive for the lower end. And then let's kind of look at the other upper end of the spectrum. So, over 15% body fat. I think we've got to be realistic here. Like, the goal is not to be that. Right? No one ever is growing up when they're older and thinks, oh, I'd love to be at around 15, 60%, 20% body fat. Like, you want to be lean, guys. Like, you want to feel good. You want to be masculine. The masculine physique is nice abs, good set of, good chest, good arms. You know what I mean? Like, that's what a masculine physique looks like. If we look back to like the gladiator days, right? Like for the 300 Spartans. Like, that's like the type of physique that I think men should aspire to have. Right? As I was growing up, like James Bond physique. These are the sort of physiques that I think just look good, right? The beach body look. I think that's realistic. When we start to push over 15% body fat, like, you just don't look as good. You just look soft. You just got little pockets of fat. You are going to probably start to lose your abs, or you're not going to see any abs at all whatsoever, especially as you start to get between 80 and 20%. It's not to say you're unhealthy, define health, but it's just not maybe as attractive, and you're not going to have as much confidence and abundance as what you really want, which I think is always the ultimate goal as well. Of course, if you go over 20%, 25%, 30%, you just are not going to look great, and you're also going to be actually detrimentally damaging your health, as this is where a lot of health issues and problems start to occur when you've got more body fat, more adipose tissue, higher amounts of visual fat as well, which is obviously not what we want. So guys, that's pretty much my take on this, okay? We diet guys down to around 10 to 12%, and we reverse diet them up, so they probably then sustain around 12 to 15% year round. And if they want to sustain lower, they absolutely can, but there's obviously a little bit of a trade-off there. But that's pretty much what we focus on with our guys. We get them lean, we get them to around that 10%, we've got nice abs, it looks shredded, it looks good. And then from there, we can nicely build the foundation. We can gain a little bit of body fat, which just makes life a little bit more fun. Not quite as grumpy or grouchy all the time, but you can sustain a really good look whilst eating a lot of food, because that's the goal. We want to be lean whilst eating a lot of food. We don't want to be lean whilst living on poverty calories. Not doing loads of cardio as well. We want to be realistic and not having to, do loads of activity every day to sustain a good physique. We want to be realistic. We want to be smart. And I think that around that 10, 12, 13, 14% body fat is the ideal sweet spot for where I think it's not only realistic, looks good, it's sustainable, something you can kind of work towards all year round, and put yourself in a really good place. So that's my take on things, guys. I hope you found this video super useful. If you have, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you hit subscribe for future videos. As always, I'm gonna catch you in the next one.